Hey guys, welcome back to Pokémon FireRed LeafGreen. I almost said Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, but that's been over for a while now. Last time, we made our way along Route 3 and got some new team members. We met Mithridates, the male Nidoran, Triton the Magikarp, and Creeps the Jigglypuff. However, before we get going, I want to mention that things are going to be looking a little different. I had to reload from a previous save after I recorded the last episode. The reason for that is I checked Triton's stats and I noticed his nature wasn't that great. You'll notice that in our Pokemon bios, we get a brief description of their nature. I believe I have mentioned this earlier, but natures are a mechanic where each Pokemon's, one of their stats will be lowered a little while another will be increased a little. I noticed last time that Triton had an impish nature, which meant that his special attack was lowered, and that is a very bad option for Magikarp in this game, considering Magikarp and Gyarados are primarily special attackers in Generation 3. Due to that, I decided to reset, and we got a better version of Triton whose nature actually increases his special attack instead. So, overall, while it did set things back a little, I thought it was probably for the best in the long run. I also switched around some more items. We now have 9 potions, 7 antidotes, 1 paralyze heal, and 5 Pokeballs. Now, with all of that out of the way, we're going to be starting on Mount Moon, which is quite the difficulty spike. Let's get started. In this world, there are only 3 things that are certain: death, taxes, and Zubat. If you threw a dart at a map of Kanto, went there, and then ran into the nearest cave blindfolded, one would smack you in the face immediately. Now, you'll notice I've placed a question mark in Golbat's evolution section. This is because Golbat was Zubat's final evolution in Red and Blue, but in Generation 2, it received a 3rd form. Unfortunately, any Pokemon that receive such a new evolutionary stage past Generation 1 cannot evolve into their Generation 2 and 3 forms until after you beat the Elite Four and beat the game. They are post-game exclusive. Once we reach the post-game, I will give bios for the new stages, but for now, I will keep things to their Gen 1 forms and discuss if they can still be used in the period between the time you can first catch them and beating the Elite Four. Zubat, sadly, is not a Pokemon that shines at this limit. Zubat has a strange mix of surprisingly useful advantages you wouldn't expect from such a common Pokemon, and some serious disadvantages. Zubat's ability is Inner Focus, which protects it from flinching, and it has a quad resistance to grass, fighting, and bug moves, as well as a half resistance to poison moves. For its moveset, it specializes in flying, poison, ghost, and dark moves, giving it very wide coverage. It learns Bite at level 16 and Wing Attack at level 21. For its weaknesses, its stats aren't the best and it's weak to Electric, Ice, Psychic, and Rock moves. Now when it reaches level 22, it evolves into Golbat and it overall becomes more viable as a team member. At level 28, Golbat learns Confuse Ray, a Ghost-type move with 10 PP that confuses the enemy. Now, with such a good ability, you might be thinking it has to have 55% accuracy. Nope, it has 100% accuracy, so it's practically a guaranteed infliction unless the enemies raise their evasion or lowered your accuracy. At level 49, it learns Poison Fang, a poison move with 50 power, 100% accuracy, 15 PP, and a 30% chance of inflicting a badly poisoned status on an opponent. When a Pokemon is badly poisoned, it loses a 16th of its max HP at the end of the first turn, and the amount of HP it loses increases by a 16th each consecutive turn. So on turn 2, it loses an 1/8 of its max HP, then 3/16, then a quarter, and so on. Its other moves aren't the most heavy hitting, but they serve it well. I am very partial towards Golbat. It was one of the members of my first ever team, and its Gen 2 evolution is very useful. However, with all the positive things I've said about it, I think you're better off waiting until another game to use it, since then you'll be able to use it to its full potential sooner. Sadly, Golbat was done dirty in this game, so I can't recommend it. It's not even its own fault. You'll have your time in the sun someday, buddy, I promise. Also in Red and Blue, Golbat had one of the most terrifying sprites I've ever seen. It's a good thing they didn't have it appear in the wild of Mount Moon, because I'd feel awful for any kid wandering into their first dungeon having this be the first thing they see. Next up is Geodude. Geodude is our first Rock-type Pokemon. Rock is effective against Fire, Ice, Flying, and Bug, and not effective against Fighting, Ground, and Steel. Rock Pokemon resist normal, Fire, Poison, and Flying, and are weak to Water, Grass, Fighting, Ground, and Steel. You'll have to be especially careful about Water and Grass, since many Rock Pokemon are paired with a Ground type, giving them quad weaknesses to them. Geodude is one of those Pokemon, and like most Rock types, it specializes in defense, with its major weakness being its low speed and special defense. At level 11, it learns Rock Throw, a Rock-type move with 50 power, 90% accuracy, and 15 PP. After that, it learns quite a good set of moves, including Magnitude, a Ground-type move that has 100% accuracy, 30 PP, and deals damage with a different amount of power randomly rolled for each time, the greater number you roll corresponding with greater base power. It can be pretty devastating. At level 21, it can learn Self-Destruct, a normal move with 200 power and 5 PP, which deals immense damage but causes the user to faint. At level 25, Geodude evolves into Graveler, where it gets a noticeable boost in attack and defense, and mainly learns heavy-hitting rock moves. At level 29, Graveler will learn Rollout, and eventually it learns Rock Blast, a 10 PP rock move that operates similar to Rollout. It initially hits for a 25 power and 80% accuracy, with decreasing probability of landing consecutive hits per turn, but you also get increasing power per turn, so it's a bit of a gamble. Geodude's best move is Earthquake, a ground-type move with 100 power and 10 PP. At higher levels, it learns a normal-type Explosion with 250 power and 5 PP that also causes the user to faint, and the normal-type Double Edge with 120 power and 15 PP that causes the user to take a third of the damage inflicted. Now for evolution, we run into a problem. Graveler is the first of 4 Pokemon in Gen 1 that will only evolve once you trade it with someone else who has a Pokemon game for the Game Boy Advance. Given that sadly few people nowadays still have GBAs and link cables to trade with, there's little chance you'll be able to obtain the final stage of Graveler's evolution. Because of that, I will be evaluating Graveler and the other trade evolutions primarily from their middle stage and discuss if I feel they are viable to keep on your team even if they can't complete their evolutionary chains. Graveler, while fulfilling its niche as a Rock-type defender well, is not a Pokemon I would recommend for the long haul. It's the Pidgey of Rock-type Pokemon. It can be found everywhere, it doesn't have a whole lot unique to say about it. I can recommend it as a temporary member, but I personally feel there are better alternatives to the Rock-type in Gen 1 overall. With all that being said, I can recommend trading Graveler to evolve it into Golem if you have access to the right equipment. Golem doesn't learn any moves that Graveler can. In fact, it learns the moves at the same level Graveler learns them. However, the stat boosts make evolving Graveler into Golem very much worth it if you have the opportunity to do so. Everything I said about Geodude and Graveler stands for Golem, so I don't have much else to say regarding it, other than Golem had a really derpy sprite in Gen 1. Paris is a Buggrass-type Pokemon that sucks. It has very weak stats, takes quad damage from fire and flying moves, and twice the damage from ice, poison, bug, and rock moves. It does have some resistances, taking half damage from water, electric, and fighting, and a quarter damage from grass and ground, but that's where the positives end. It learns an array of status-affecting moves, but can't fill that role anywhere near as well as Bulbasaur or other grass types we have yet to see. Its only viable use is as what is called an HM slave in Pokemon jargon. We have not encountered HMs yet, so all I will say to the subject now is that it is a very irritating mechanic that requires you to use up move slots on some of your Pokemon to explore parts of the overworld. To get around this, many players have a designated HM slave they give HMs to and lug around the party so they can navigate around. Paris learns HMs required in the early game, making it useful only as an HM slave. At level 24, it evolves into Parasect, and I mean, what were you expecting? Gyarados was lightning in a bottle, and weak Pokemon that evolve into beasts like it are very rare. Overall, I'd say catch a Paris only to move around in gem requirements. But I will take this moment to talk about Parasect's Pokedex entries. In Parasect's entries, it was noted that the mushrooms on its back grow as it eats. LeafGreen's Parasect entry says, the parasite mushroom has taken over the bug host. That's not just a strange one-off entry. Pokemon Yellow's entry says, the bug host is drained of energy by the mushrooms on its back. They appear to do all the thinking. But wait, there's more. In Pokemon Gold, it says it mostly stays in dark, damp places, a preference not of the bug, but of the big mushrooms on its back. Pokemon Crystal says, when nothing's left to extract from the bug, the mushrooms on its back leave the spores on the bug's egg. And as recently as Pokemon Legends Arceus, it is stated that specimens of Parasect that don't have these mushrooms lie unmoving in the forest, implying they are either dead or just brain dead and unable to think. What the hell was the pitch meeting for this like? Hey kids, you get to watch your friend get infected and die horribly while it gets taken over by a parasitic fungus and is no longer their self with the same personality. I feel horrible for Parasect. Not only is it a weak Pokemon, its very existence is literal hell. It is doomed to either die and be left as a corpse or get taken over by a parasitic mushroom and have its will sapped away. It has no chance to live happily. It is doomed to die horribly no matter what. Oh, and even worse, it's real. The mushroom on its back, called Toshikazu, is based on the cordyceps fungus, specifically, I shit you not, zombie ant fungus. This fungus infects bugs such as ants and spiders, drains their body of nutrients, and fills it with spores before forcing it to fall to the forest floor and latch onto the underside of a leaf before it dies and spreads spores everywhere. Yes, it hijacks a bug's behavior through still not fully understood mechanisms, but the point is it fucking mind controls them, and it's fucking real. Where is your god now? Have a great time sleeping tonight. Let's move on, shall we? Clefairy is another normal type Pokemon that was later reclassified as Fairy type. That isn't its only similarity to Jigglypuff though. It also doesn't learn many good offensive moves and has only okay stats, but it's definitely a lot more fun to use if you ask me. The best way I could describe Clefairy is that it's the closest thing Pokemon has to a Trickster character that uses less than straightforward means to get advantages at battle. At level 5, it learns Encore, a normal type move with 100% accuracy and 5 PP that forces the opponent to use the same move it previously used for 2 to 6 turns, or until the foe runs out of PP. At level 9, it learns Sing, a 95% accuracy, 15 PP normal move that can put the foe to sleep for 1 to 3 turns. At level 13, it learns a normal type Double Slap with 15 power, 85% accuracy, and 10 PP. This is another multiple stage move with increasing power and decreasing probability of landing a hit. It then learns Minimize, which increases evasion and defense curl, but its big break comes at level 29 where it learns Metronome. This is a normal move with just 10 PP, no set power accuracy. Why? Because it chooses a random move from all moves in the game to use. There are a few exceptions, but the point still stands. This pink little Cuttleball is an unbridled force of sheer chaos. In the right conditions, it could either do nothing or one-shot a Gyarados with no effort. It's a wild card, and it's awesome for that, even if it's a little impractical to use. But man, is it fun! Past Metronome, it can learn the Psychic type 20 PP Cosmic Power, which raises its defense and special defense. The normal type 5 PP Moonlight, which yields a different amount of HP depending on the weather. And the Psychic type 30 PP Light Screen, which cuts damage from special attacks by half for 5 turns. At level 45, it learns its final move, the Steel type Meteor Mash, which has 100 power, 85% accuracy, and 10 PP. This also has a 20% chance of raising the user's attack. Given its moveset, Clefairy is best suited as a tank. Unfortunately, as with the Wigglytuff, it also does not learn any moves after you use a Moonstone to evolve into Clefable. As Clefable, it gains much better defenses, allowing you to utilize its unique moves to your advantage much better. Sadly, you have to wait until it reaches level 45 to ensure it learns all the moves it can. It's a lot of effort, and I personally wouldn't go for it, but if you want to use it, it can be a fun and engaging Pokemon to try out. Immediately you'll notice an item to the left and a trainer up to the right. And we also have an encounter right off the bat with a Zubat. No pun intended, seriously for this time. Remedy fled using Runaway. I decided to save our Pokédollars on Repels by using Remedy's Runaway instead. Beware, Zubat is a bloodsucker. I would recommend just going for Repels since they save you a lot of time and headaches. Tinfound TM09, it contains Bullet Seed. That is a great option if you chose Bulbasaur as your starter. We also have our second encounter with the Zubat. Believe me, you are going to get very used to this and all too familiar with Zubat by the end of this game. They are going to be in every cave, I swear to God. Tinfound 1 Paralyze Heal. That's going to be helpful in the long run. And we have our first trainer here. I'm going to switch in Triton to start off with. Suspicious men are in the cave. What about you? This is Trainer Kent. He is going to have a level 11 Weedle and a level 11 Kakuna. So as usual, use your weaker Pokemon, take out the Weedle, and an especially weak one to take out Kakuna. Ember! Critical hit, Weedle's down 1 hit. For Kakuna, I'm gonna switch to Jerry for Kakuna. I want her to get some more experience that she slightly lost from the last recording, but she's about to get to level 9 anyway. Thundershock, go. And I'm probably just gonna spam it until Kakuna is down. And Kakuna's just gonna use Harden, as predicted. Trainer Ken, also I want to say, is placed in a really dickish spot. If you just got Bullet Seed and decide to randomly wander up, you will walk right into his line of sight. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Ken's placement, but there are definitely more evilly placed trainers in this game, so maybe I should reserve some of the criticism for those. Now those are all the items over that way, and I completely forgot you can run in caves, and I've been playing this game for years now. Zubat number 3, I will be keeping a tally because they're everywhere like I mentioned. Now up here, I'm gonna switch to Triton again, and then CeeLo. What? I'm waiting for my friends to find me here. You're just waiting for your friends in a cave. That's not suspicious at all. This is last Iris, the level 14 Clefairy. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. I should probably stop trying to sing. Clefairy is a normal type in this generation. Oh yeah, it also has Q Charm. So it's going to be effective, it's going to be weak to fighting type moves. Clefairy is one of the Pokemon this generation that was later retyped to the Fairy type when that was introduced in Generation 6. So if you're looking up the weaknesses of Jigglypuff and Clefairy like I mentioned a while ago, it's gonna be slightly inaccurate because it changes depending on the generation. God damn it, CeeLo! Can you stop falling in love with like every other Pokemon we encounter out here, please? Okay, just one more hit and we'll be good. Of course, CeeLo's attack is lowered. I just go for Scratch. Come on, CeeLo, you can do it. God damn it, CeeLo. Oh, Encore! That could have been bad. Encore is a move that forces your opponent to repeat the last move it used. CeeLo got a critical hit against Clefairy, and Clefairy faints. Triton grows to level 7, and CeeLo grows to level 12. Alright, not bad. Player defeat last Iris. I lost, and got 224 Pokédollars. I came because I heard there are some very rare fossils here. We heard a bit about fossils being excavated in Mount Moon from the Pewter City Museum. Now let's run up this hallway, and we have a ladder. Going down, we are now in basement floor 1, and I'm just realizing now I forgot to go over the exact encounter rates. Up on floor 1, there was a 69% chance of getting a level 7 to 10 Zubat. 69. There's a 25% chance of getting level 7 to 9 Geodude, a 1% chance of a level 8 Clefairy, and a 5% chance of a level 8 Paras. Here in the first basement floor, there's a 100% chance of running into a level 5 to 10 Paras. And now the second floor of the basement, there's a 49% chance of a level 8 to 11 Zubat, 30% chance of a level 9 to 10 Geodude, 50% chance of a level 10 or 12 Paras, and a 6% chance of a level 10 or 12 Clefairy. That's all the encounter rates for Mount Moon. That was quite a mouthful. Now that guy right there, he's dressed in all black and has a red letter on his suit. Looks like he kinda means business. Let's switch out Mithridates. We Team Rocket are Pokemon gangsters. We strike fear of their strength. Team Rocket Grunt would like to battle. We've heard about these guys. Team Rocket Grunt, send out Sandshrew. Go Mithridates. Team Rocket are Pokemon criminals. We've heard that they've been stealing Pokemon from Mount Moon, especially with some of their fossils. Go for CeeLo, but I don't think he's going to be that useful. I'm going to go with Charlie instead, use Metal Claw against Sandshrew. Sandshrew also has Sand Attack, which will make your accuracy fell. That could be a little risky since Metal Claw only has a 95% chance of... Oh, okay. I might want to rethink things here. Okay, we get a hit in. Got a critical hit. Now it's going to use Defense Curl. Sandshrew here is going to buff itself and debuff you, so that's going to be pretty annoying. At least you landed the hit. And Charlie's attack also rose from it. Gonna go for a Scratch. I was worried it would hang on with like 1 HP. Mithridates grows to level 7. And Charlie gets 190 experience points. Team Rocket Grunt is about to use Rattata. Let's go for CeeLo. His fighting type moves will be super useful against it. Karate Chop. Oh, of course he used Quick Attack. Cheapskate. Rattata faints. CeeLo gains 133 experience points. Now you're going to use Zubat. Jerry, your turn. Since Zubat is flying, you'll be weak to Electric. Jerry used Thunder Shock. Super effective. One more hit from the Thunder Shock should KO the Zubat. Super effective. Foe Zubat fainted. Jerry gains 126 experience points and makes it to level 10 already. Alright, some nice increases on max HP and speed. Player defeated the Team Rocket Grunt. I blew it! We get 352 Pokédollars from it. Darn it all, my associates won't stand for this. Let's switch out Remy again to ward off the wild Pokemon. Now, in this room, there are going to be a couple of hidden items, if I'm recalling correctly. I might not be remembering things exactly right, but I can sworn this is where they were. Okay, a wild Geodude. I'm gonna hold off on catching Zubat and Geodude now. Since we are kind of low in Pokeballs, I want to mainly wait for a chance to catch Paris and Clefairy, since those two can only really be found here in a reasonable length of time, where Zubat and Geodude are everywhere. Speaking of which, Zubat number 4, and a voice crack to accompany it. Remy fled using Runaway. Tim found 1 star piece. That is an item we can sell to the Pokemart to gain a lot of money. It'll be very useful in getting new items, and we have Paris. Ooh, oh, that's level 12. I hope Remy can take this. Scratch? Oh, okay. Mithridates, you go. Okay, Paris is poisoned. While Paris is hurt by poison, that'll help us take care of it a bit. Okay, none of our Pokemon are very good against Paris here. I'm gonna go for Charlie since he's the strongest and he can tank Paris's hits while it gets poisoned. Oh, Stun Spore, of course. That'll paralyze you. There is a use I have in mind for Paris, even though it's not very useful in terms of combat. I'm gonna use our potion on CeeLo since we're gonna want to have him around for a bit. While Paris will Scratch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Are there any other items we can use? I think I'm just gonna use Growl instead. Charlie's already paralyzed, and Charlie also can't move, so nothing happened that turn. Alright, so hurt by poison. Just a few more turns and we can catch it easily. Okay, I'm just gonna do Growl again. Why are you using Stun Spore when he's already paralyzed? I guess cave crabs probably aren't that smart anyway. Alright, let's go and start catching this thing. Gotcha, Paris is caught. Paris' data is added to the Pokedex. Growing out of the bug's back are mushrooms called Tochukasu. The mushrooms grow with the bug host. Given nickname captured Paris, damn, get it? Like Paris, London. Yeah, it's a shitty name. Now I'm gonna go into our items. I want to heal Charlie. I'm debating whether or not we should heal Charlie right now, or instead just quickly run out back to the Focus Center and run back in, since we are pretty close to the entrance. I'm thinking I might want to do that. It's a brief detour, but ultimately it'll help us conserve items. I'd only recommend backtracking to reach the Focus Center. Zubat number 5, by the way. I'd only recommend backtracking and go to the Focus Center if you really feel like you need it. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to just reach the end of dungeons just to get to the next area or Focus Center or whatever. Zubat number 6. But aside from that, let's just go heal up and we'll run back in and go through the rest of Mount Moon. Back in here, I just realized I completely wasted that potion on Cielo. Way to go, me and my lack of foresight. Zubat number 7! Level 7, too. Nice coincidence there. But we're just gonna ignore you. Now, going down this way, I want to be a little careful because I know there's a trainer. Where are you? There you are! Okay, if I had gone down any further, I would have been screwed there. Alright, I'm gonna switch out Triton. What? Don't sneak up on me! I was in front of you! What do you mean I snuck up on you? Super Nerd Yvonne would like to battle. Super Nerd Yvonne sent out Magnemite. This is an Electric Steel-type Pokemon. Electric is strong against water, as I've mentioned, and Steel is also a very defensive type. However, it's also weak to fighting and fire, both of which we have on our team. An interesting fact about the Steel type is that it actually wasn't in the original versions of Red and Blue. It, along with the Dark type, was added in Generation 2 to balance out the meta of the Pokemon type thing. I could have phrased that better. Super Nerd Yvonne's out is about to send out Voltorb. Gonna keep Charlie for this. Voltorb is just an electric type, so it isn't weak to fire. I'm gonna instead use Metal Claw. Like I was saying, Magnemite... Okay, I'm probably gonna go for other attacks then. Magnemite was originally just an electric type, but it was changed to the Steel type in Generation 2. So that is another case of Pokemon getting changed a little between generations. Okay, Charlie's defense is down, but we're still faster than it, so another Ember should take it out. Though Voltorb fainted, Charlie gained 241 experience points and made it to level 16. Player defeat Super Nerd Yvonne. The Pokemon won't do. We got 264 Pokédollars, but more importantly, like Charlie is evolving. Congratulations, your Charlie has evolved into Charmeleon. Charlie's stats are now boosted, and he's in the middle stage of his evolution now. With only some more levels to go, he'll fully evolve into Charizard, but for now we have a much stronger Pokemon on our side. Running around Yvonne, we have another potion to make up for the one we wasted on Cielo. It's not that you're not worth it, buddy, it's just that we
ran out and healed everyone up, so it was kind of a waste in hindsight. Actually, it wasn't just kind of a waste, it definitely was a waste. I should probably just stop beating myself up over it. Alright, another Geodude. Go Remy. Run away. Over here, we have a rare candy. A rare candy is an item that will allow a Pokemon to instantly gain another level. I'd recommend holding onto those because they're going to be far more useful later on in the game when it takes more EXP to level up a Pokemon as they raise in levels. Now, over here, I'm going to switch over to Triton. I might be risking things a little by switching into him before we get to the trainer, but it seems like it wasn't that big of a deal. You need to go through this cave to get to Cerulean City. Here we have Bugcatcher Robbie, who's going to have 2 level 10 Caterpies and a level 10 Metapod. Let's have Charlie go out in his newfound glory as Charmeleon. He's going to use String Shot, but our Ember can easily blitz through his Bug-type Pokemon. Charlie uses Ember. Super effective. Triton gains 55 experience points, so does Charlie. About to use Metapod. I'm gonna give that to Jerry, too. Alright, they're at even levels, but Jerry's gonna win since Metapod can't attack us. Alright, let's see how many turns he can get this done in. Turn number 2? Oh, okay, that's very good. Seems like we'll be done just 3 turns. That's a new record, probably. Metapod is down, and Jerry gains 153 experience points. We're about to use Caterpie. And actually, let's just keep Jerry in. I think she can handle it. Alright. Thundershock. Okay, wow, that's very good. Use this String Shot. I think Jerry's gonna be fine, though. There we go. Jerry gains 112 experience points, less than a Metapod. That's kind of strange, but actually, now that I think of it, not really, since Metapod is the middle stage evolution. But still, Caterpie technically is better since it's, well, it actually can attack, so I guess it makes a little sense when you think about it. The escape rope will instantly let us escape the dungeon if we're in a pinch, but I don't think we'll need it very much. Hi, I'm excavating for fossils here under Mount Moon. Sometimes Brock of Peter Jim lends a hand. I'm about to talk about what we're about to run into, and I wasn't expecting the Geodude to be there. Alright. Have another trainer over here. For this, I'm also gonna want to have Charlie, I think, but I'm still gonna have Triton out at the start. Wow, it's way bigger in here than I thought. Lesmerium would like to battle. Lesmerium sent out Oddish. This is a grass poison type, much like Bulbasaur. I'm gonna see if Jerry can handle it too. If not, we'll just switch to Charlie and use our fire moves. Or, well, our soul fire move, Ember, instead. Used Absorb. That absorbs some of your HP for... Oh, shit, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna want to go for Charlie with this. Sorry, Jerry, but you had your time to shine this episode. Charlie, you go out there. Use a Sweet Sen. That's gonna lower Charlie's evasiveness. Oddish mainly specializes in status effects like paralysis and poison. So if you can just take care of it as soon as you can, that's probably your best strategy for dealing with them. Triton grew to level 8. Jerry gained 60 experience points, and Jerry grows to level 11. Jerry's trying to learn Quick Attack, but Jerry can't learn more than 4 moves. Alright, we have Thunder Shock, Growl, Tail Whip, and Thunder Wave. Quick Attack, an almost invisibly fast attack that is certain to strike first. 40 versus 100. Jerry has a disadvantage at defense, so I want to keep Growl for the time being. Gonna get rid of Tail Whip for this. Jerry learned Quick Attack. Charlie also gained 60 experience points. Now she's gonna switch to Bellsprout, another grass poison type. Mithridate is your turn to go. You're still kind of lower levels compared to the rest of us. You have a flying move, that'll be useful. Okay, what's Bellsprout gonna do though? Okay, now I'm a little nervous. I'm also realizing just how creepy Bellsprout's eyes looks in this pixel art style. I had my screen zoomed in, so I didn't really notice when I was playing it on my GBA. Well, that was a good fight with Mithridates. You still lost quite a bit of HP, but I can't really complain. Mithridates grew to level 8 and learned Focus Energy. Mithridates also grew to level 9, 2 for the price of 1. And is about halfway to level 10. Oh, I lost it. With that, there's still quite a bit of a way to go through Mount Moon, and I really don't want to jinx ourselves, but we're actually doing fairly decent. I mentioned Mount Moon is quite challenging for newcomers due to the sheer amount of encounters you'll face with Zubats and Geodudes. The trainers can also be quite a bit of a level hike if you haven't been training specific Pokemon like I have with Charlie, CeeLo, Jerry, etc. So, for newcomers to the series, and I remember I struggled a lot too, Mount Moon is really the first test of difficulty you'll be facing, and it's quite the hike for anyone who's new to the series, so I'm actually kind of surprised it went this smoothly. But with that, we are about halfway through Mount Moon, so next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we reach the end of Mount Moon and come out on the other side. See you guys next time.